right, so that was the wrong button on XSplit. There we go. Down here at the bottom left-hand corner of Zelnaga Fortress, we have TSL Hart spawning as our pink Terran player. His opponent here in the top left-hand corner from ATN, that is Socke. He is spawning as our blue Protoss.
All right, Socke up 1-0 in a pretty convincing win over TSL Hart. Some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Psystorm work in that last game.
Certainly.
Very patient with his storms. Didn't just premature graculate with all of those storms all over the place. And hit some pretty clutch ones at that. I felt like there was a point in that game where he was getting overwhelmed a little bit and dropped Thor's hammer, if you will, on Hart's face, and then was able to swing it back from there.
And I'm really curious to see what people go with here, because Zelnaga Fortress is a very interesting map. It lends itself to very strong 2-base aggression and 2-base mid-game aggression, which is actually, like I said, my favorite kind of game to watch. I actually really enjoy that. I think it's a very exciting brand to play. It's a little bit harder to take your third unless you can PF it or unless you feel very secure with your map control. So we could be seeing very fast expansions out of these two players, and then just kind of a macro period up until about the 15-minute mark where we see a big push out, because I don't really know Socke's playstyle on this map, so I can't make any predictions in that regard.
Yeah.
Ooh, Aspiring Zelnaga Tower.
The only I love how it keeps switching. Like,
I know, it's different versions of the map.
Yeah, but Socke's playstyle, I think he'll try and hit some sort of a timing here in this game.
Yeah.
Or perhaps just mix it up altogether. First game, he went super standard. Well, minus that Nexus first opener, which we're obviously not going to see here.
But after that, it was 5-gate robo with upgrades into 7-gate on 3 bases.
Absolutely.
So, I mean,
very, very standard. Although he built a Robo and a Colossus, a Robo Bay, and he never made a single Colossus, which was kind of weird.
No, had the first one and canceled it. So
yeah, it's really odd.
Yeah,
I don't know what that was all about, but I doubt we'll see that again.
Yeah, but as you were alluding to before, like a 6-gate 1-forge timing attack is super powerful here. And even attacks with blink or something like that with an observer, like 6-gate robo, and just blink up onto the high ground here and start doing economic damage.
Oh, it's the top of the Terran Heart up there. And it's the Terran base.
Aw, that's cute. I like it.
It's adorable.
Aw. Thank you, Blizzard. Well, no, I guess this is a GSL
Korean map, I think, actually.
Yeah. GSL map originally.
They should draw 2 lines with the doodads.
Are we seeing some 1-1-1 play here?
I think we might.
Out of Heart?
Yeah, I think we might.
I think it's
very
likely.
plausible.
Yeah, exactly.
Highly likely, actually.
And there's
especially
the reactor.
with that reactor.
It's a pretty good giveaway. Yep, because he's obviously... I mean, if he was only on 1 gas ability reactor, I'd say this is going to be a Hellion expand, but of course not going to happen with gas number 2. We'll see a start board here in just a bit.
Let's hope Socke prepares properly for this. How many gateways does he have coming up? Just 1.
Just 1. And
second gas is on the way. I hope he doesn't expand immediately after this.
I think he is going to expand after this. I think we're going to see 1 sentry and then an expand. Yep, there's the 1 sentry. And we'll see if he has another gateway in a second or what, because this could get ugly.
Yeah, I think he's going to scout, realize potentially what's going on here. That quick bunker, you know, he might figure it out. Zealot might be able to get an SCV kill.
And looks like they're going to force that Zealot away. Stalker doesn't manage to get the kill either. Doesn't want to stick in there long enough. Probably, I didn't lose that many shields. Probably could have gotten off the last 2 hits required. But nonetheless, we do have Robo coming up and another gateway. So Socke decides he's not going to expand. He sees the bunker at the front, so he knows that there's tech hiding for him and probably suspects the 1-1-1.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to get a tech lab on that port as well.
Oh, so it's the Banshee. So this is pretty all-in, just really, really high damage 1-1-1 variant.
It's so powerful.
It really is.
It's so good.
Yep.
He's already cut SCVs. Wow. So this is going to come super early. Well, he cut them for a while there to produce that tank. And
yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, he's 6 workers behind right now. So
yeah.
Yeah, he did.
And he's still cutting them. Wow.
All right. First Banshee is coming out, and there's the expansion out of Socke. It's going to be a... Did he cancel his... No, okay, Robo's still up, so it's a 2-gate Robo expand. Robo is finished right away. He's already going to a robotic space, so he's going to try and hold this off with Colossi. Now, this was something that back in Team Arena when Rain was playing... Oh gosh, it was Fnatic because it was because Perfect was getting 1-1-1 by TSL Rain. Well, now Fnatic Rain. I'm sorry. I'm blathering a little bit. But, and then he 1-1-1'd him, and he actually had a really good response because he had Colossus at the top and was able to hold the units at bay with force fields through the natural, but he just had a little bit of wrong execution. But I still think it was the right way to go about the defense.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about it. Here we go. No, he's not actually going to push yet. He's going to delay and continue to build up here. But I love the Robo Bay from Socke. I think that's a really good way to hold these types of all-ins.
I mean, like,
Colossus are excellent against the Marines, and they're actually not that bad against tanks either.
It is super risky, though, because if this had been an earlier 1-1-1, you know, like a very early game push behind just 1 or 2 siege tanks. Oh, he drives off the Banshee, though. So nice defense there, and he does have the first Colossus coming up, and I think the Banshee saw... Let's see.
Robo.
Yes, the Robo. There we go. Yeah, but if this had been an earlier timing, I think Socke would have been dead. So he's a little bit lucky that this wasn't an earlier push.
Yeah, if Hart had been able to sniff that out a little bit earlier on, maybe with a really quick Banshee. And a lot of players, when they do this, they'll actually make a port and then swap the tech lab onto the factory.
Right.
And get a really quick Banshee to scout out what they're doing. And if you see that they're totally skimping on units like that, then you can do a really early timing push and just straight up end them.
And Colossus tech was revealed, so Hart knows this is coming at him. He's waiting for his SEVs to catch up. He's just been delaying for so long that Socke's going to have another production cycle as well. And it looks like Socke's going to take the fight to his opponent. I don't think that Hart is expecting that. And all this Colossus is doing work.
Oh my god.
And it looks like the Banshee being focused down by the Stalkers. That was an incredibly good defense. Very, very nice job. HD maintains that the only way you can stop it is with some sort of Stargate play, but I've got to say that Socke just showed you that a Robo Bay will do quite as well.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're left to get that Colossus up there, just so good at this stage of the game. Also, Hart not sieging his tanks there, I think, also played a really big role.
I don't think he expected... When you do a 1-1-1 push, you think, okay, they're going to play super defensive, they're going to sit in their base, I'm going to be able to make the moves, move up, and slowly siege forward, things like that. No, Socke said, I'm not going to give you that opportunity.
Yeah, Hart is in so much trouble right now. Socke is on 2 base here. He has another Colossus on the way. Every second that this game goes on is a ticking time bomb for Hart, and oh god, more Marines getting lasered away. Colossus does take a little bit of damage there, but it will stay alive.
Yeah, Banshee has to watch out. Wandered into the fire of the sentries and stalkers there for a little while, but like you mentioned, there's no expansion, there's no threat of an expansion. He just has to create as many units as he can and hope that this all-in succeeds. Now, the second Colossus should be making its way down. Thermal Lance is on the way as well. That should show you how secure Socke feels at the moment on his 2 bases, is that he's bypassing another Colossus to defend against this all-in favor of Thermal Lance at the moment. This siege tank is not sieged up. One Colossus actually goes down very quickly, but Guardian Shield is going to help against the rest. And these Zealots are tanking so much damage. The next Colossus goes down, but the tanks have disappeared. Socke with still pretty good unit production, warping in some units into the main.
Yeah, he needs some Stalkers here, and then he'll be able to 100% hold this off. He might have actually wanted that 3rd Colossus there just to be the icing on the cake. But, nonetheless, he's actually going to get an Immortal now after getting the Thermal Lances, which is kind of weird.
Canceled he was building another Colossus, canceled it. Socke showing us that he is fine with canceling Colossi today.
Yeah.
And then decides to put up the Immortal after that. Very interesting, as you mentioned, because this is a lot of resources sitting here that's not going to be utilized at all if we don't see another Colossus.
No, not at all. He's going to have to chrono that Immortal out. There's another sizable push here coming from Hart, and he does have 3 Banshees this time versus just 3 Stalkers.
Yeah.
So
and 1 Banshee will take out 1 Stalker.
Yeah, and that's an issue for Socke right now. He needs to get some more units out. 3 additional Stalkers on the way. Here we go, and the Immortal is making its way down the ramp, and he looks to be pushing here. I don't know if that's what he wants to do just yet.
No, not yet, but it's getting close to that stage, and he's going to lead. The Immortal on the right-hand side, it looks like it's going to get targeted down first, but not before it gets itself a Siege Tank kill, and that is actually pretty critical, because otherwise that Siege Tank would have been fine to fire for quite a long period of time, and there are a ton of Zealots remaining. Yeah. Just a couple of Stalkers need to be warped in to clean up the rest of these Banshees.
There it is. Very well done. And Hart, how close is he to getting mined out?
It's not as close as you would think, because he's been pulling SCVs the entire time to go attack.
Yeah, he doesn't have very many SCVs left, 20 to 32.
And, of course, Socke has a fresh set of mineral patches he's mining from. So
yeah, absolutely.
So pretty big advantage for Socke at the moment. We'll see if we get another Colossus here in a second. Or if he just warps in on 4 gates and goes and kills his opponent, which is possible.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. If he meets him out here in the midfield unsieged, he just unsieged and re-sieged. He's going to lose this tank for sure. Actually, he's going to lose both of these tanks, and with that, I think his hopes of taking this game are crushed.
Yep, just the 1 Banshee remaining.
Gonna take out one of the Koreans, it looks like.
Defeating a Korean at their own game, holding the 1-1-1
Absolutely.
in play. So very, very nice.
In his own unique way.
Indeed.
That worked out quite well for him.
One more Siege Tank on the high ground. Deal a little bit of splash damage. Of course, the Zealots laugh at Siege Tank splash damage.
Yeah.
And they're going to make their way up. Last Siege Tank goes down. The rest of the SCVs being pulled for a heart, and I think he is going to be forced out of the game. That was amazing play out of Socke.
Yeah, Socke looking very, very strong right now. Gonna clean up the remainder of these Marines and these SCVs. GG is called.
Congratulations to Socke. He advances into the quarterfinals of the qualifier.